Hello, my lovely Divine Feminines. Welcome, welcome. It's that time of the week again where we're going to have a look at the karmic situation for those of you who have a Divine Masculine in a third party or karmic relationship. This reading's for you. It won't resonate with all of you because all of your circumstances obviously are different. But thank you so much for all of you who've been leaving comments and telling me about your situations. You know, we all know that the twin flame journey is by no means an easy one. It's by no means a fairy tale because you know, there are bumps along the journey. And certainly for those of you who haven't seen last week's reading, you may want to have a look at that on the channel. I think it came out on Saturday last week actually, but usually I do them on a Sunday. And last week's reading was very, very strange. It left me feeling very unsettled and I had to do a lot of clearing work to get rid of that energy. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what's happening this week regarding what's going on with them. I do want to apologise in advance for any of the background noise that is going on. As I say, I'm still in a elderly care facility at the moment while we sort out my father's belongings, etc. So yeah, there's obviously people coming and going outside the flat, and so it can be quite noisy sometimes. But anyway, enough talking, let's get on. So, Spirit, can we have the energy first, please? Spirit one step ahead of me. Do you want me to take those? Why? They've just said to me, take those as main cards, which is really strange because I wanted to do the energy. So we've got third eye chakra and coming together. How very weird. Okay. I'm not going to get hung up on these cards at the moment because there's more of a story to tell here, obviously. Yeah, what they're saying to me is you may be seeing... Sorry, I don't know if you can see those cards from there, actually. Okay, so we have third eye chakra and we have coming together. And what Spirit are just saying to me is you may be seeing an image of your Divine Masculine and the Karmic as very together. Okay, that may be what you're being presented with at the moment. Okay, but they've just said to me swap cards. It's going to be one of those readings. Sorry, they're on fire today. They literally are making me chop about. So do bear with me. But what can you tell us about this energy, please? It looks like we're going to do a different style of reading again, folks. So those of you who are subscribed and are used to this, you know that I just go with the flow, whatever Spirit wants. So, what are we seeing? Okay. This is about the Divine Masculine actually taking the time to take the lead in this situation, but avoiding confrontation by just being quite laid back at the moment. So the image you may be seeing of him at the moment and of them together is one of harmony, one of peace. And they've even said joy, which surprises me somewhat, but it's an image that's being portrayed. Okay, so what we have here is the Divine Masculine. You know, he wants people to appreciate him. He doesn't want to be the bad guy again. He wants people to look up to him. He wants them to show appreciation, and he wants to sort of show that he's in charge and that he's leading the way, etc., etc. But he's actually just taking a bit of time out because he doesn't want to battle, and they've just said to me strategy and planning. So, you know, this Divine Masculine is taking some time out. He's planning his strategy for what he really wants, what's coming next, okay? But while he's doing that, he's portraying to the world that everything's fine. So if you've been watching them on social media, or you've been hearing about them via friends, or, you know, maybe if you're in contact with your divine masculine, you may have had an email saying, yeah, life's great, everything's hunky-dory, you know, nothing's getting in the way, it's absolutely fine. And, you know, that's sort of really I didn't want to use the words that they're giving me. It's really heavy for you to hear, because, you know, that's the last thing you want to hear. But it's not true. This is very much about what's being presented, but this is very much about the reality. Let's see. What else, please? So what is the next bit? Oh, okay. Okay, so we have, this is such an interesting reading. I don't know where they're going with this layout for sure. This is so strange. But yeah, he's taken the lead because he thinks that that's going to be in his best interest. If he wants things to go well in his life, he's playing the game at the moment. He is actually, you know, showing, they've just said companionship, which is quite interesting in the circumstances. He's showing companionship within this relationship. He's, you know, earning the money. He's, you know, feeling that that is the positive way forward for the time being. That is what he's presenting. And, you know, it's almost like there's something a bit, I'm keep getting the image of the devil card from tarot, because it feels like the divine masculine is being a bit underhand here. You know, he's presenting a public image. He's going along with what the karmic is wanting. He's, you know, just taking some refueling time to sort of gather his thoughts and plan his strategy. But for the time being, he's building up his prosperity by working hard. He's showing companionship, and he's playing a game. Well, 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 divine masculine. Well, well, well. Because there's a part of him, and this is quite odd, there's a part of him that thinks that he was put in this position for a reason. Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. I'm not being disrespectful to divine masculine at all. But what's funny about that is, you know, we all know the twin flame journey is a divine journey. It is orchestrated by the universe, okay? We're here for a purpose. We've met for a purpose. But it's almost like he's thinking at the moment, you know, my life is becoming so weird. What is happening with me? Because he's going through this awakening at quite rapid speed. And he's thinking, I must have been given this karmic situation for a reason. Well, yes, divine masculine, you have been. It's to learn lessons. But, you know, that's why I laughed. But, you know, in his mind, there's a part of him that's trying to figure all that out, because, you know, on one level, he's really not happy where he is, but on the other level, he feels that that's where he's being told he should be, if you know what I mean. So we still have this sort of confused energy that we had last week, but it's different this time, because last week it was very much a real strong, confused, heavy energy that was almost like a battle energy, but something had shifted, but in a complicated way. And I think what we're seeing this week is the fallout from that, you know? He's keeping up appearances. He's playing the game with the divine, with the karmic. You know, he feels that by doing that, it puts him in charge, because he then hasn't got the arguments going on that he had before with the karmic. So he's using this as a sort of a recuperating, like I said, gathering his thoughts, because he thinks that's where he's going to be better off at the moment. And he feels like he's been sent this for a reason. They've just said the word punishment. So for some of your divine masculines, they may be feeling that they're in this complex situation as some form of punishment from the universe. Strange, you know? But, you know, if that's how they're feeling, so that is, again, part of their learning, part of the development, part of the next, you know, lesson to come. Very complex energies in the last 2 weeks. But I want to know more about this. I know that doesn't surprise you. I always want to know more. I don't want to separate them. How bizarre. I'm going to work the cards outwards. And, you know, whereas normally we go very distinct, we go divine masculine, we go joint energy, we go karmic. At the moment, I want to just stick with these cards and get some more information. We may do some individual sets in a minute. So, yeah, I'm going to go with these. I'm going to go with some Oracle. I know we're already using Oracle, but I just feel the need to get some more sort of general energy. Oh, gosh, Spirit, please. Sorry, they've just said swap them. Okay, we're swapping them. Let's go. So what else can you tell us about this third eye chakra and the coming together, please? Why do we have third eye chakra and coming together? Was it this one? Yes. Call your spirit home. How extraordinary. We have complex messages coming up today. Look at this. Usually when we call the spirit home, we're calling the spirit to where we feel most at peace. That is the image that they are portraying at the moment. They're portraying an image that they're exactly where they want to be, that everything's perfect, that they both feel, you know, loved up or whatever. For some of you, you will be seeing that, like I said, in any way that you see it, whether you see it on social media or, you know, you hear it from friends. That is the image they're portraying, that it was almost like this relationship was meant to be. Oh, the irony. Oh, the irony. Because, as we know, this relationship is all about lessons. You know, for some of them it will be a soulmate relationship, because karmics are often soulmates from a previous life. But their spirit definitely is not home. And the divine masculine knows this. He's playing a game. This week we see a divine masculine playing a game, which is bizarre after all the weeks we saw karmic playing the game. They've now swapped roles to a degree. So let's find out, why do we have this leadership but this resting energy, please? Okay, so he doesn't know what to do. The divine masculine at the moment is confused. Again, he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to take this forward. He feels like he's got himself in a bit of a difficult situation and he's not sure how to free himself. Your divine masculine is asking for advice. You know, he may well be dreaming a lot about this scenario. He may be dreaming about releasing the burdens that he has around him. He may be dreaming about releasing the karmic. But whatever is happening, he's talking to the universe, God, spirit, angels, you know, or he may just, if he isn't the type of person that does that, he may just be simply saying out loud in his head. Can you say it out loud in your head? No, you can't, but you know what I mean. He may be thinking in his head, please help me find a way forward. He may just be saying it generically. Please help me find a way forward here. Please let me find a way out of this situation. You know? But if he is more in tune with his spirituality, he's going to be saying to God, Spirit, the angels, the universe, whoever he feels comfortable talking to, he's asking for that spiritual support to find his way forward here. Because he doesn't know what to do because, you know, they've gone public. They have actually, you know, pretended that everything's hunky-dory, you know. But in actual fact, he knows it's not. On a spiritual level, he knows it's not. So he's asking for help to sort that out right now. So why do we have the beginning of prosperity in the universe card, please? Okay, they've given us this for that. So they've said, look, he's taking it in tiny steps. You know, he's asking for help. He's just getting through every day. He's presenting as though everything's fine. He's trying to persuade himself that everything's fine because on some level he finds that easier than actually going for what he really wants, which is to be with you. So, you know, he's taking this a step at a time because he doesn't know how to handle it. But there's definitely a need for him to release here. And, you know, this is what he's asking advice about. Yeah. Oh, look at this. Do you know, I never, for those of you who know my channel well, this has come up occasionally, whereby I never put cards this way up. I always put them face down when they're in the deck. But when I put them inadvertently face up, then they've got a message for us. And this one is clearly saying, I'm sorry. The Divine Masculine wants you to know, because at the moment, as I say, he's got himself in a right old position with this karmic. He doesn't know how to handle it. He's asking for spiritual guidance. He's trying to take it a step at a time because he's very confused. But he wants you to know, Divine Feminine, that he's truly sorry. He feels it from the depth of his heart, because I can feel it as I'm saying it. He has so much regret. He never wanted to hurt you. Spirit are giving me these words. These are coming from your Divine Masculine. This is a heartfelt apology to you, Divine Feminine, from the Divine Masculine. I want to keep that out because that's a very strong message to you. So why do we have prosperity and the universe, please? Oh gosh. Sorry, Divine Femmes, but it's every week, isn't it? They're saying just be patient with him. And I can almost hear you screaming as I speak. But, you know, don't forget I'm also a Divine Feminine, so I feel that too. I don't mean I hear your scream. Well, I do hear your screaming, but I also hear my own screaming. Your kindred spirits here, folks. Anyway, yeah, it's going to take a bit of time before he realises that he's not being punished by the universe, that the universe has sent him the karmic for lessons, not as any sort of punishment, you know. And isn't this interesting, this card, that here he is holding up the activities and the lives of the other people because he's sitting there not daring to take that slide down. And here we have a Divine Masculine who knows he wants to be with this Divine Feminine, has got himself in a bit of a fix, so he's sitting at the top of his slide in his life, and he knows the joyful bit will be whizzing down the slide to his Divine Feminine. But he's at the top and he's terrified, and because of that, other people's lives are being affected. And that's your life, and that's the karmic's life. You know, he's affecting other people's lives because he hasn't been able to move forward. It's interesting that Spirit are talking to me a lot today, and it's interesting that, you know, they're saying, Divine Feminines, you know how your energy mirrors the Divine Masculine and vice versa. They're saying, have a look at your life at the moment and see if you're sitting at the top of your own slide and you're scared to slide down it. For some of you, there may be some of you who are afraid of this relationship, when you really do your soul searching and your shadow work, there may be a part of you that subconsciously has been pushing the divine masculine away. Sometimes that's difficult to see within ourselves because it's at a very subtle level. But also, you know, there may be circumstances that whereby, you know, you've sort of stayed where you are and you've not been sure what to do, and therefore you've not taken that slide either, you know. And because you mirror each other's behaviors often, and, you know, it's quite interesting, isn't it? Because it is, yeah, there's mirroring of behaviours, but it's also almost like a seesaw. So, you know, one of you will be, let me think what I'm trying to say here. One of you is like, it almost feels like, I get an image of a seesaw in my head, and it's like, I was going to say one of you's up and the other's down. That's not true, because we do sense the emotions of the other person. But it almost feels like one of you is sort of moving forward with their lives and the other one's still stuck a bit. And that is the energy that I'm feeling here. So the people in the queue for the slide here are wanting to move forward with their lives, but the divine masculine is stuck at the top, because we're talking about the divine masculine here, you know. And Spirit is saying, look, just because you mirror and because you pick up the energy of each other, is there somewhere in your life also, divine feminine, where you're actually, you've got some blocks, I guess that's what I'm trying to say, that need clearing. And if you clear your blocks, then that will have a knock-on effect on your divine masculine. Gosh, I hope that made sense. I know I went a bit around the playground with that statement, but I hope that made sense. Yeah, I do want to use these cards, Spirit. Thank you. We are going to get into some tarot in a minute and to have a look at what is actually happening in terms of possible next steps, etc., etc. Yeah, look, there's inflexibility around for the divine masculine at the moment, and that's why they're saying be patient. He does feel stuck. He doesn't know how to move forward. He's taking it in tiny steps. He's really regretful because he knows how that's affecting you. But he's just playing the game at the moment. He's being a bit manipulative, which is interesting considering he has a very manipulative karmic. How bizarre. Right, let's get some other general energies. Oops. I'm just going to reshuffle because I'm not sure that I was meant to take those. I'm going to get some more general energies, and then I'm going to get, oh gosh, what are we going to get next? The energies of the individual, so the energies of the divine masculine and the energies of the karmic. Let's just get some more general energy. Okay. So we have the yin energy, which is feminine energy. So, you know, there's a lot of focus on the karmic here because, you know, funnily enough, last week we had the Empress as the last card, as I recall, and I remember that because I talked about children, I talked about pregnancy and the confusion because the divine masculine felt that, you know, obviously the Empress is your energy, divine feminine, but there is this confusion around that card at the end of last time. So we're still focusing very much on feminine, nurturing energy here. Although I'm not sure that this is a very nurturing karmic. Yeah. Anyway, let's... why do we have I'm sorry here? What's this about, please, Spirit? Yeah, look, the divine masculine is sorry that he's making you wait. He knows how hard this is for you. He really does know because he feels your energy, divine feminine. And he is sorry. He knows the toll this will be taking on you. He's sorry how he's treated you. He's sorry he hasn't stepped forward. He's sorry about this mess that he's now in. And, you know, he's sorry that it's taking so long to sort out. So why are we... Yeah, but he knows it's meant to be, Divine Femme, you know, and this is what we need to hear, because this is the whole basis of this situation. He knows, even though he feels like the universe has punished him in some way by putting him in this really difficult set of circumstances, he knows that he should be with you. He knows it's fate. He knows it's destined. He knows he should be with you. So why do we have this stuck energy, this inflexible energy, asking us to be patient, please? It feels like the community card is usually really a supportive card. It's about the people around you, but in this instance, it doesn't feel like it. It feels like he's having to deal with a lot of people. And this has come up before in the karmic reads. It feels like there are a group of people around this divine masculine who are interfering, who are trying to shape his life, who are giving their opinions far too frequently. And for whatever reason, he decided to go with the flow. Well, of course, you can only go with the flow for so long before you get trapped by the flow, if you know what I mean. In these circumstances. I am saying some weird stuff this afternoon. But, you know, this group of people around him, and they may not even be connected with each other, but he seems to have a lot of people around him who, rather than being supportive, although they may think they're being supportive, they're giving him really bad advice, okay? And, you know, part of his difficulty is freeing himself from their influence and freeing himself from, you know, the pressure that they put on him to continue this relationship and to present as though everything's fine. And that's a huge pressure. Absolutely crazy. Right, let's get down to the detail about how the divine masculine and the karmic are both feeling. This is a very strange layout. I do appreciate that. And I do appreciate it all looks a bit messy. But, this is me wanting tidy tarot. But it's just the way Spirit are giving me it today. They're giving a lot of information today. They want me to chop and change cards. They want me to, you know, and I just go with the flow. So, you know, we get what we get. So, but Spirit, can you please give us the energy of... They want me to start with the karmic. Okay, let's start with the karmic. The energy of the karmic, please. What is the energy of the karmic this week? What is the energy of the karmic? We have two. We have this one. Change your focus. Interesting. New vitality. So it looks like... Oh, hang on. Let's get the other two and then we'll be absolutely sure what it looks like. What else, please, for the karmic? What is the rest of the energy for the karmic? Oh, again, rest and reconsider. Didn't we have that a moment ago? It's under here somewhere. Okay. Dreams coming true. Can you see that? Oh, you can't see them. They're not in camera shot. Okay. Let's move the cards over a little bit and move these over a little bit. I think you can just see them. I'll show you them anyway. So here we have, it almost feels like the karmic has something else to think about, something new to think about, something to focus on. And this is why this image is being portrayed. You know, so whether there's been a change of circumstance in their lives, you know, whether there's been some sort of significant event, whether it's, I don't know, some sort of engagement or a house move or a pregnancy or whatever, if there's been something significant, the karmic is all wrapped up with thinking about that at the moment, and she feels that that has brought new vitality not only to her but also to their relationship. And she's taking time out to reflect. There's a quiet confidence coming from this karmic this week. She's taking time out to reflect. She feels that she's achieved, and she feels that her dreams have come true. Okay. Let me just move those up there like that so that we can see them. So, you know, we have, as I say, a quietly confident karmic this week. Something has definitely changed, and it's a circumstantial change, I'm sure, because this came up last week. Let's see what the energy of the divine masculine is. I might have to start overlapping cards because you're not going to see them all otherwise. Right, Spirit, what is the energy of the divine masculine within this relationship this week? What is the energy of the divine masculine? Okay, we have healing begins. That's intriguing. What else, please? Detach. And another one. Can we have two more, Spirit, please? Again, taking the lead. Now, we had him in that energy. Under here in this pile of cards somewhere, we had that wisdom card. Do you remember? Look. And I said he's taking the lead in this situation, but he's presenting it as though he's going with the flow. It was that one, wasn't it? And that's quite calculating. That's where the game playing is coming in. Nurture. Okay, so whatever this change of circumstances is, he's playing a very subtle game here. So, you know, we have the healing card. So again, we have this feminine energy around. So there's definite focus on the karmic at the moment. So some of you will have a karmic here that is expecting a child or has had some health issues perhaps. There's a definite focus on the karmic and the feminine energy. And, you know, the divine masculine's playing along with this, you know. I think on some level they do care about the karmic, but, you know, this is I say this is a game. I don't mean that to sound flippant. They're not being, you know, uncaring here, but, you know, I think they're allowing the karmic to feel that, you know, all the sort of arguments they had in the past, the threat of separation, etc., etc., they're allowing the karmic at the moment, whether we think this is good or not, they're allowing the karmic to believe that things are okay and they're back on track. And that is something to do with the karmic's health. I'm picking that up quite strongly. But actually deep down, he's feeling detached from this situation. He doesn't want to be there, you know? So whatever image you're seeing of them at the moment, he's feeling emotionally detached because he knows that he's destined to be with you, Divine Feminine. And that's why he's asking advice from the spirits, from Spirit, from God, from the angels, from the universe, whoever. He's asking for advice on how on earth he's going to handle this situation. He's got himself in a mess. But what he's doing is appearing as though he's taking the lead, you know? He's appearing as though everything's under control, as though he's happy. That is the image he's putting out. And it may be because he has all these people around him that have that expectation. You know, but freeing himself is actually becoming more and more difficult the more he does this without being honest. You know, and that's where the game playing comes in. It's almost like he's deluding himself. Yeah, you see, there's a lot of nurturing going on, and this is why I say this is something to do with this karmic and a health issue in terms of, you know, as I say, we have this feminine energy here. So, you know, he's presenting as being in control, he's presenting as nurturing, he's reassuring the karmic that everything's okay, when in actual fact, he feels totally detached from the situation emotionally and he doesn't know what to do. So he's probably going to bed at night, dreaming about it, you know, closing his eyes and asking for spiritual guidance because he knows he's playing a game. And I don't mean that in a malicious way, because that sounds really shallow. But I don't mean that in a sort of a malicious, you know, oh, let's do this and that serves the right sort of way. No, I don't get that energy at all. Again, we go back to this divine masculine trying to please everybody at the same time when he can't. He can't. But that's what he's trying to do. And that's what he always tries to do. Isn't it? Right, let me gather up these cards. I'll sort them all out later because I just am running out of space. And I'm going to pull some tarot to get some clear guidance on what is going to happen next. So thank you for staying with me. As I say, those cards look like one big jumble to me. But we're going to have a look at what's going to happen next. So let's see. Let's see. Spirit, please give us clear guidance as to what is going to happen next. What is going to happen next between the karmic and the divine masculine, please? What is going to happen next between the karmic and the divine masculine? Okay. Decisions are going to be made. Okay. Decisions are going to be made. I'm not going to comment any more about that card at the moment until we get the next ones. So there are definite decisions coming up. There could be a lot of financial decisions going on. There could be a lot of work going on regarding them trying to build stability. You know, maybe there's a house move around for some of them. But there's definitely a focus on work and building abundance here. And it could be that some of the decisions they're making are financial decisions. You know, we've had this come up in the past where the divine masculine has been affected by, you know, work and not being able to move because of financial decisions. Yeah, I mean, look at this. There's a danger that, you know, they're going into a situation blindly rather than properly thinking it through. So, let me hold on to... I'm going to do another card because I want to see which way this is going. Because we definitely have decisions around building up a financial security. And it's maybe to avoid that. So let's see what comes next and then that'll put it into context. What's next, please? Oops. Ooh. We have the Strength card. So whatever they're doing, it's going to take a lot of strength to get through it. So they're making a decision to build their financial security here. And this is about also Ten of Pentacles. It's about foundation, about, you know, stability, financial stability. So they're making financial choices, but they may... There's a problem here. Because they may be just... It may be like, that's it, thank you, Spirit. They've just said knee-jerk reaction. They may be making sudden decisions that they've not thought through. So they have decisions to make about finance and perhaps living arrangements. But again, there may be pressure, and it may be the karmic pushing for the next step, to be honest, because we've already seen that the divine masculine is pretty detached from this situation. But, you know, it feels like they're going to go and make a spontaneous decision. And that's going to lead them into a situation that's going to take a lot of strength. Yeah, it's not going to go the way that they want. So there's a warning here. There's a warning here. Because somebody is acting in a very underhand way. Okay? So like, it's interesting that I just said it could be the karmic here. And I'm not into karmic blaming. Those of you who follow the channel know that I'm usually fairly balanced regarding the karmic. But it feels like a decision needs to be made about a living arrangement. and the building of finance, but it feels like somebody's pushing too fast to actually get this decision made and to get what they want. And I'm picking up karmic energy. I'm sorry, but I am. And, you know, it's going to take a lot of strength, a lot of effort to actually get this goal that she's aiming for, basically. I only say she, it's not gender specific, but you know I always use she and he. But there's some underhand dealings going on. Let me see where that's going to end up. What would be the outcome of that, please? What would be the outcome of that, Spirit? What would be the outcome? Interesting. There's going to be a clear new beginning. Look at this. The Ace of Swords cutting through any obstacles. You know, somebody's being very devious here and wanting their own way and really pushing, really being quite, you know, strong-minded and strong-willed about it. But even though they're being devious, it's going to bring a lot of clarity. So maybe there's an awakening happening here, you know. Maybe if this is as it feels, the karmic energy, maybe the karmic is pushing maybe the karmic is pushing for more finance coming in. Maybe the karmic's pushing for a new house, you know. It could be anything of that sort. But it's going to bring things to a head. There's going to be some very clear conversations happening, okay? Because the divine masculine will also be aware of the devious behaviour. So whereas these swords, as you can see in the Seven of Swords, are being sort of clutched in and protected and hidden, they're going to be out in the open. So whatever devious means are being taken. And you know, it's funny because when we did the previous spread of cards, I felt that it was the divine masculine that was actually almost playing a game at the moment to keep the peace. But this manipulative, devious behaviour is karmic energy. I can feel it. But it's going to bring things to a head. Because we've gone from hidden swords to the beginning of clarity, cutting through obstacles, clear speaking, clear thinking. So this may be one game too far from the karmic. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens next week. Because that's an interesting set of cards. That's very interesting. Spirit, can we have a look, please, at the divine masculine and the divine feminine? Okay, I know it's a karmic read, but I want to know what the divine masculine's plan is regarding the divine feminine in this particular situation. I am going to be doing a separate message from the divine masculine to the divine feminine reading, so look out for that in the next couple of days. But for this reading, because we're going through this unsettled energy with the karmics, I am concerned about us divine feminines, not because I should be, because we know this relationship is fated, we know it's destined, so we shouldn't have any worries about it at all. But I know for some of you it is very hard going through this journey. So let's just see what the divine masculine has in mind regarding the divine feminine in this particular situation. So we're talking about this group of divine masculines. Okay, Spirit, what do we have, please? How is the divine masculine feeling, and what are his intentions towards the divine feminine? Oops. I'm going to take both of those because I think that one should have come out first. Okay, he's still got lots of people around him This is his energy here. He's got lots of people around him giving their opinion. So it may be that your divine masculine has been talking to a friend or a family member, or maybe more than one, you know, about still having feelings for his divine feminine and not knowing what to do about it. Now, we saw in the previous layout that he was actually, you know, asking for spiritual guidance, but it may well be that he's talking to people around him, you know, about, they've just said confidentially, so a confidant, sorry, to my pronunciation, confidant. So he is sharing that thought with a friend or a family member, but the trouble is that these are the same people that we saw in the community group. So, you know, they want him to maintain that image that we saw at the top of the screen, top of the table, whereby it was, you know, an image that they're presenting to everybody of everything being okay. And, you know, the people around him are saying, you know, but you've got everything set up now. Why would you want to rock the boat? You know, it's that kind of feel about it. So the people he's choosing to talk to aren't being very helpful at the moment and confusing him more. You know, and what he wants to do is actually focus on how he can move forward, because he knows this divine masculine's not stupid. He actually knows that what he focuses on, if he focuses in the right way, will bring the results that will make him happy. I.e., if he focuses his efforts and attention on you, divine feminine, then he knows you and he can be happy. Okay. What else, please, Spirit? How else does he feel? Yeah, look, he sees you there sitting pretty, basically. He sees you. He knows that you work hard. He knows that you can offer him an abundant, loving lifestyle, and he sees you having achieved a lot in your life, divine femme, and he sees you just waiting in a relaxed state. You're not bringing any of that energy that he's getting from the karmic, you know. He sees you as being in control of your situation. You've got on with your life, you've done your work, and now you're sitting and you're relaxing and you're in control of things, you know? And there's a peacefulness that comes from that energy for the divine masculine. So, you know, that's a whole different feel to how this energy that he's picking up over here. What else, please, Spirit? How else does the divine masculine see? I don't know which one. That one. Yeah. Lover's energy. This is how he's seeing you, divine femme. So that hasn't come up in the karmic spread, it's come up in yours. So, you know, he loves that about you. He loves the fact that you're, you know, remaining dignified, that you are standing back, and he knows the pain he's caused you. We saw that in the previous spread. We know that he's sorry about the time he's taking. He knows that he's messed up, but he still sees you as his life partner. He still sees you as the person he wants to be with. He still respects and, you know, appreciates the person you are, with this calmness, this achievement, this independence, you know. This is what he wants to share with you. Yeah, look at this. He wants to take the leap of faith. Did you see how I wobbled that then? I was like, he wants to take the leap of faith. He does. He wants to take the leap of faith. What else, please? Yeah, look. And he wants to take the leap of faith, and he wants to... They've just said the word marriage here. He sees you and him in celebration together. Okay, and this is a gathering of generations. So this is about family, it's about appreciation, it's about celebrations. Celebrations of the best type, and it can be a wedding and engagement. But this is basically just a celebration of your relationship. You know, he wants to make you happy too, So this is why he wants to take this leap. But he, at the moment, as I say, he just doesn't know how to. But look how different. If you have any doubts at the moment about the intentions of the Divine Masculine, have a look at these cards. Look how different they are. You know, look at the uncertainty. You know, there's an emphasis again. Now, didn't we used to see this? For those of you who have subscribed and saw the early karmic readings I did, there was a big emphasis on this karmic wanting financial security. So here we pick up an energy of the karmic pushing for a move of house or abundance, as I said before. I won't go through it all again because I've already said it. But, you know, we have these uncertain cards. Yes, we have a card of strength, but I think it's taking all her strength to actually try and push for what she wants. But, you know, whatever method she's using or secrets that she's hiding, they're going to come to light. And there's going to be some very frank discussions here. And so there's a deviousness and a pushing and a pressure that comes from this set of cards. But when the Divine Masculine looks at his relationship with his Divine Feminine, yes, he's got these interfering people who, sadly, he thinks he can trust, and he's choosing to talk to them about you, Divine Femme. But he knows that if he focuses his attention on you, and that things will develop between you in the way he wants them to. And, you know, look at this calmness from the Nine of Pentacles. He has the utmost respect for you. And that is why he sees himself in a partnership with you. He wants to take this leap of faith, and he wants it to be a celebration. But he has to rid himself of that energy. And he's got himself in a difficult situation. Oh boy, oh boy. Right, I am going to draw it to a close because let's just pick a couple of Moonology. I always say that I'm going to draw it to a close, then I say let's just pick another couple of cards. But let's just pick general feeling cards. Okay, so this is for you, Divine Feminine. What messages, Spirit, do you have or advice for the Divine Feminine? Do you want me to take all three? They've given me three in a karmic read. Love it. I'm really strange about things in threes. And especially if I will only take, well, no, I do it occasionally. But usually I only take three cards in a karmic read because there are three people involved. But in other reads, like if I do a twin flame read, you know, just a message from Divine Masculine, I will never take three cards. If I ever do, tell me in the comments and say, why did you do that? All right, look at this. So we have, this is interesting. We have balance, spirituality and practicality. This is a message for you, Divine Femmes. We have adjustments are required. So, you know, at the moment, you've got to balance what you're doing in the 3D with what's happening in the 5D and vice versa. Okay? So you need to just be investing in yourself, getting on with your life, and allow Spirit to guide the Divine Masculine through this situation. Okay? As I say, we've got our part to play, because if we raise our vibration or we, you know, invest in ourselves, the energy of that will be picked up by your Divine Masculine. Okay? So, but you shouldn't be doing it just for the Divine Masculine. You need to be doing it for you. But there's also practical things that need attention. There are adjustments in your world that are required, Divine Feminine. You will know what they are, I'm sure. But what they're saying is, the overarching message is, believe in the impossible here. So even if you look at this karmic situation and you think, you know, he is never going to get out of this situation, you know, they're saying, no, there's not room in your thinking for that thinking. There's not room in your thinking for that thing. There's not room in your... Oh, you know what I mean. What Spirit are saying is, this is not the time to engage in that type of thinking. because you're going to attract more negativity. So they want you to focus on the impossible and say, do you know what? I surrender. I just surrender this to spirit. And I haven't got a clue how they're going to do it, but I surrender it to you, spirit. Please sort it out. That's what I'm going to do. Seriously, that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, enough about me. Right. Lovely Divine Femmes. I hope you enjoyed that reading today. Once more, it was a bit different to, well, in fact, I'm not even going to say to normal, because they're different every week when I do these karmic reads. They're weird. Weird. The readings aren't weird, but the layout is always different. Yeah. Anyway, I need to go, otherwise it's going to take ages to upload this to YouTube. So I hope you enjoyed the reading. Please remember to click like, and if you haven't subscribed already, then, you know, it really, really does help the channel. If you're new to YouTube, do not worry about it costing you anything. Do not worry about getting tied into anything. You can unsubscribe whenever you like. But it helps the channel so much just to sort of be seen, and the videos to be seen more. So, yeah, thank you for joining me. Don't forget to click the notification bell next to the subscribe button, because then you'll know when the next videos are out. As I said, I am going to do a message from the Divine Masculine in the next couple of days, and I've just got some horoscope reads to finish as well. So there's lots going on the channel in this coming week. So please make sure you've subscribed and click the notification bell. I've said that about 4 times now, so I'm not going to say it again. All right, take care, Divine Femmes, and we'll do another karmic read next week. Take care. Bye.